That's me leaving my accommodation, and that's where I'm heading, up into those mountains. I've got about 1.5 miles, maybe around there, maybe 2, to get back on trail, the official route. I picked the trail up, as I mentioned in my last video, at Ranchos to Taos, which is, like I say, about 1.5 miles down here. So I'll get back in touch then. I've actually just wasted about, well, I'll tell you in a bit. And officially back on trail. A couple of miles before I pick a little trail up, which will take me up into the Carson National Forest. But this morning I've had a bit of a palaver. The last 2 days have been pretty cool. Overcast with rain showers, a little bit of thunder. And I thought, man, if only that day when it were in the 30s and I was just done. If it had been like this, I would have done it, not a problem. And that light bulb went off. I thought, we'll go back and do it. So I checked today's weather. Not as cool as the last 2 days, but not too hot. 29 degrees is the hottest. But there's also showing a good bit of cloud cover. Now, from where I left the trail back to Ranchos to Taos, which is just there, it's 23 miles. That finishes section 7. So I thought, right, I'm going to do it. So I got up a bit earlier this morning, sat in the foyer, trying to get an Uber back to the viewpoint, Gorge Bridge. Twice it did the usual, connecting you with the driver with the progress bar going along. It gets near the end saying all drivers are busy, try again later. I'm like, here we go. So twice I did that, and I thought, man, so I googled it. What's it like getting a Uber stroke lift in Taos? And that took me down a bit of a rabbit hole. And I ended up on a Reddit site, a Taos Reddit site. Pretty much everybody's saying, nah, forget that. It's only a small little town. We've got a bus service, which they have, called the Blue Bus Route, which runs all over Taos. It's free. So, forget it. So I thought, well, I'll try one more time. So I tried it again, and there was one car available. So I clicked on that, and it says it'll pick you up at 6:45. Now this was about 6:10. I thought, yeah, bollocks. If you think I'm sitting here, well, 6:45, then to be told, sorry, we can't connect you. So I gave it up. So I've just started section 8, which is the last section, and it's just over 90 miles. I can't remember, but I may have said this morning, pointed at the mountains just coming out of Taos and saying that's the Pecos Wilderness. I can't remember whether I did or I didn't. If I did, they're not. It's the Carson National Forest that I'm going through at the minute for about another, well, it's about 30 odd miles from Taos. Those mountains that you can see in the distance, right in the distance, the pointy ones, that's the Pecos Wilderness. That's where I'm heading. So I've got to cross all this national forest to get into the Pecos Wilderness. That'll be maybe late tomorrow sometime. Well, I've just spent, 15 minutes fighting my way through all these willows. And I've got to this little water source. I don't actually need it. I may take some, but then I've got to find my way through all that other side, look. No, it's ever easy, is it? Oh. Right, let's have a look. Well, I have had a nice drink, that's lovely and cool. This looks to be a, I don't know, give me a fighting chance. Oh, there's a bit of a trail here, looks like this maybe a cows or something. Yeah, we're a bit lucky. I see some vehicles. Right, get my map out, see what the hell's going on. Well, this is where it's telling me to cross. I hope there's a trail on the other bloody side. I'm unsteady as shit on my feet, aren't I? I think this is the deepest bit. Right, I found a trail. Well, let's do. Oh, there's some fish swimming about there. I'm hoping this is an old tool track, but it's something I can follow because I've got a good steep climb coming up here. And I could do with a bit of assistance. Oh, there's some big prints here. Probably elk. And I'm guessing this is my trail, as overgrown as it is. Right, see where this leads me. Now I do like the look of this. Okay, I'm just over 12 miles in. That's for this section. I don't know whether I mentioned this morning, I'm trying to get to, well, I'm heading for a ski resort called Sipapu Ski Resort. They've got a campsite there and it looks really nice. It belongs to the lodge. It's got picnic benches, tables. It looks like it's got quite a bit of shade as well. So I'm probably going to stop there tonight, even if I get there early. And I may see what it's going to cost for a cabin or a room, because this Sipapu is my last stop. When I leave Sipapu, I've got about 70 miles to go to get me to Santa Fe. So this is my last stop, and if they've got decent Wi-Fi, I'll carry on uploading. Well, I'm going to be starting climbing up in a minute. Like I've got another just to get around. Well, it's a good bit warmer than it was yesterday, so maybe that were the trail gods were looking after me this morning, not letting me get an Uber. Oh, here we go, look. Started to climb now. Yeah, it's steep now. Whew. It's just straight up now, just following these power lines. Yeah, you can hear him. Faint rumbles of thunder. And it's not 1 o'clock yet, and they're started already. And that's heading my way. You hear him? I'm not seeing any lightning. Lightning's probably further on, so I can't see it, but I can hear the thunder. And I've got about 5 miles to go to get to Sipapu. Okay, I think I need to get down. I'm walking right into it, and I'm also walking up like a dickhead. I'm not much off the top here, which is not where I want to be. But very shortly there should be a tool track on my right hand side that'll take me down. That's if it's there. I mean, a lot of time it'll show you the tool track on the map and there's bugger all there, so if it ain't, I'll have to rethink everything. I might have to turn around and just go back until this is passed, because I'm nearly at the top here. Yeah, I'm going to be going right underneath him. This is the old tool track. This should take me down and bring me out on the west side of the little town, rather than the east if I were to follow that trail. That's the trail I should be following there, look. Well, that's still taking me up to that ridge line in the distance, right underneath them clouds. I can't take that route, so I'm going to go down here and hopefully pick up the highway. Well, I've just fought my way through all that lot. Must have took 20 minutes. It was as thick as anything, and that's the bottom. It's like a dry creek, and I'm like, oh god, there ain't no trail. So I thought, well, I'll find something my way up the other side, and look what I've come across. You absolute little beauty. So this should take me all the way down to the road. And that thunder is nearly over my head now. But I am well down. I'm not on the ridge like I was about 40 minutes ago. Aye, aye, aye. Well done, little path. Take me home. Okay, this is the route that I'm taking down to the road, look. There's Sipapu, That arrow is obviously, that's me right now. I've just picked this little trail up and I'm heading down this little path. It shows it as a 2-track on the map, but it's not, it's just a single track. Down to the road where I turn left, follow the road for a bit, a couple of miles maybe, and then I'm getting to Sipapu. But the important thing is, if I was following the blue line, I'd still be going up, right where that thunderstorm is. With this new little reroute that I've added, I'm going down. And you can probably still hear the thunder behind me. It's barely moving, the storm, it's just literally sat on top of the mountain where I would have crossed. So yeah, I've had to avoid him. Whew. My feet are really sore for some reason. Who the hell is the matter with them? Anyway, I'm about 2 miles to go before I get to the resort, and I've literally just got a signal, 4K 1 bar. So I've been on their website and they're telling me that there's nothing for tonight. Yet when I checked yesterday, there were plenty, so I don't know whether it's just the website that's, because it's the 14th today, maybe it just shows you the 15th to start booking. I can book tomorrow. So I'm about 2 miles and I'll just have to go to see the receptionist, seeing if she has got anything. If not, I'll just camp. But because it's my last stop, I would have liked to have just chilled out, try to sort my feet out. It's just about stopped raining now. Didn't rain that heavy. Oh well, it did, but I'm in trees, so it wasn't that bad. But well, you can still hear the thunder and lightning up at the top. It's barely moved. Yeah, it's been in the same place all, well, for the last hour. So I think I did the right thing coming down here. I don't think I've saved that much mileage wise, but that's not why I did it. I mean, I probably missed really good views going the other way. I've seen bugger all coming this way. There were 2 water stops the other way. There's no water this way, so you know, I've not done myself any favour except get out the lightning, which is, well, is a favour. Right, like I say, I'm about 2 miles away. I shall, oh my feet. I shall show you Sipapu ski lodge or whatever it's called when I get there. Road walks, I hate them. Especially when there's nowhere to get out of the way of this big twat. Yeah. Right, well, where are the campsites down there? They don't look bad at all, do they? But first I'm going to go to the lodge. See if they've got any rooms or anything anywhere. If not, it's tent time. Well, it's about 7:30. I'm still at Sipapu, and it looks like it's going to start raining again. All these dark clouds coming in. So I went to the reception like I said I was going to. Had a bit of crack with the girl at the reception there. And she goes, I don't think we've got anything. I said, what, nothing? All these lodges and casitas or whatever they call them. She goes, well, we're really struggling for staff and there's nothing ready. I said, oh, I don't care about ready. She goes, I said, what do you mean, like what, changing bed and stuff? She went, yeah. I said, oh, hey, forget about that. I'm not interested in none of that. I said, I'm just going to put my sleeping bag down on the floor or on top of the bed and sleep in my sleeping bag. Don't you worry about that. I'll pay whatever the going rate is, and don't worry about that. She says, well, I'll have to ring the lady who owns it up. These are the toilets, look. So she rang the lady up that that runs it, well, that owns it, and she said, no, we can't do that, no. And I'm like, and I'm literally, I can hear her up phone, I'm saying, sweetheart, I'm not bothered, honestly, I'll pay you what. But she wouldn't do it. So the lady that was looking after me, she said, well, he's walked all the way from Taos, he's walked through a thunderstorm, he's wet, he's tired, his feet are soaked, and he don't really want to put a tent up because it looks like it's going to rain again. She says, well, look, if he don't want to put his tent up, tell him he can stay on the back, he can camp out on the back balcony, which is that. So the lady at reception brought me around the back. She goes, yeah, you can camp up there, just throw your bag down, do what you want, you're sheltered, everything you need. And this place shut at 5, so nearly everybody's gone home. I'm just kicking stones at the minute, so I've had a good look round. I was thinking of sleeping in the toilet, but there's some RVers parked further down, and that toilet just there is for RVers as well. And I don't really want to be in there when somebody needs to use the toilet, so I'm thinking I'm going to camp here, look. I'm just going to chuck my bag down, just down there. And the reason I'm going to sleep down here is because that is an electrical socket, look. And it's currently charging my iPhone up. So I can sleep there and leave my iPhone up there, and once my iPhone's fully charged I can put my iPad on, because I've been doing some editing with my video that I've taken today. I'll show you out front tomorrow when it brightens up a little bit. But this is where I'll be getting my water. So yeah, everything's bang on. Yeah, see you in the morning. Alright, I found somewhere better. A bit more out of the way. And it's got double outlets, or sockets as we call them. So I can charge 2 items up at once. And it's a little cabin, it's out at wind, because it is a bit breezy back there. There's my cabin, little cabin down there, look. I'll show you when I get closer. This is him, look. There's a car just pulled into it. Know what he wants. Well, he's gone down to the campsite, so maybe he's camping. Right. Oh, come on. It's not locked. Well, this is it. Nothing fancy. But look at all these electrical sockets I've got. All these outlets. Great stuff. There's 2 down there, look. And it's really, really warm. I don't know what's running, but something's running. This thing here, it's giving off heat, so yeah, a lot better. Right, get myself comfortable. Well, thank you. That was absolutely awesome in there. I was lovely and toasty warm. Another special little Airbnb for me. Right, I'll make my way back to the main area now and use their toilet before leaving. Well, there's Sipapu Lodge, the front. I spent most of my time around the back. And that's me heading back to trail. I've got about a 2 mile, maybe, road walk to pick the trail up, and then I've got a hell of a damn climb, but I'll show you that when I get there, because that wind's picking up and it's chilly. I'm back on trail. Well, I've been on trail for a bit because part of the road walk was the trail. I'm just cutting through this campsite. Water faucets there, they appear to be working, but there's plenty of water on this first stretch that I'm doing. Yeah, the Agua Piedra campsite, plenty of toilets and spots. Yeah, it's quite cool. Right, I have now got a stiff climb, 3,000 foot climb I've got now, and then the trail splits. The regular route takes a 12-mile hike, but it goes into open territory. It's a ridge walk pretty much, no shade. So I'll have to wait while I get up there to see what the situation is, whether I decide to take it on. And the other one is a bit lower and it stays in the tree line, which is probably the one that I'll be taking. But again, because once I'm on that ridge line there is no dropping off. Like I did yesterday, I just picked that tool track up and followed it down to the road. I've had a good look on the map, there is no way off. Once you're on it, you're on it. And it's really steep sided, so you'd have to scramble all the way down into the tree line, and that's not something that you want to be doing. Not going off trail to that extent, just to escape a thunderstorm. But I'll make a final decision when I get up there, and I'll show you what I'm doing. Yeah, look at all this. Look, this is all rainwater from yesterday, I bet. Well, it is from yesterday, or maybe they had some last night, but I never heard anything. Look at all this here, look. Where am I? All this has been washed down from up there, so it's had a lot of rain. So the water problem, well, the water that's in these little creeks should be flowing well today. Well, it's only 9 o'clock and I've just walked across there and I'm melting. It's another hot one. So what I've decided to do, rightly so I think I've made the right decision. The trail now, well not now, I've still got 1.5 miles, maybe 2 to go to get to the very top. And then the trail goes on Santa Barbara by divide, which looks lovely, but it's 12 miles of ridge walk. You're well above the tree line, and even if I don't hit a thumb, I'm going to be up there. That's 12 miles. That's going to be, I don't know, 5 or 6 hours. It's a long time to be up there. Water's going to be scarce. I'll have to drop down to try and find water, and it's a 31-degree day today. Like I say, it's 9 o'clock. I've still got to get there, so I'm going to be going through there mid-afternoon. I'm going to melt, and that's even if I don't hit a thunderstorm. And there's no obvious way down because it's really steep mountain, rocky mountain, really steep. So I'm going to do the Santa Barbara divide bypass, which keeps me roughly in the tree line, out of the heat, and more safe if it thunderstorms. It is more work on my legs because I've got to drop right down, then I go a good bit sort of levelish, then I've got to climb all the way right back up again to pick the trail up. So I've got another really stiff climb in front of me, but I think I'd rather do that than bake for 12 miles out in the open where I can't do anything about it. So that's what I've made the decision on. They are coyotes. They've no idea I'm here. Or I hope they haven't. Sounds like they've just killed something. Oh, right, I'm just grabbing some water. I've changed my mind about that route. I think I'm going to have a go at it, but I'll tell you when I get further up. Well, that were a fantastic 5 minutes. I heard a noise, I looked behind. Well, I heard a noise when I was getting that water. 2 elk, Jesus Christ, they scared the pants off me. 2 bloody elk. So when I watered up, had a drink, had something to eat, and then coyotes started. So I've not walked 300 or 400 yards. And I heard another noise and I looked round really quick and it was a horse and a little dog. So I moved aside. Anyway, it was a lady, lady on a horse. And she says, "Where are you going? Are you going all the way, you know, far up like?" And I says, "Do you know, I can't make my mind up. I was going to go one way, but now I'm looking at going the other way." She went, "Oh my God, are you from Yorkshire?" And I was like, "What?" Honestly, when I stood there with my mouth, I says, "Yeah." She goes, "Oh, I could tell straight away after about 4 or 5 words you were from Yorkshire." She says, "I know, because I'm from Warwickshire." I thought, oh my goodness. She goes, "Oh yeah, I've been living here. I've lived out here years." So she's a volunteer trail maintenance lady, and she's coming up on the horse to make sure it's all been sorted out, you know. So then we had a chat about the weather, and I told her what my plans were, and she said she doesn't think there's going to be a storm today because of how big the one was yesterday. And she said it was big, and obviously I only got the edge of it. She says it was huge, and I'm where I am now was right where it was, so I was 2 miles away. Well, that's the alternate, which goes down for a long time, but then all that down I've got to get back. So, and this is the trail itself, the northern New Mexico loop. Takes you up there. I mean, I've got quite a bit of climbing to do just to get up onto the the exposed bit. Man, it's climb today, but it's quite breezy and I'm more than happy with that. Well, there's my first one. Over 12,000 foot, that. Just forget its name. First of many. It took me nearly an hour to get less than 2 miles. A lot less than 2 miles. In there, just blow down after blow down. A fire break, well, it covered path. Okay. Well, I'm regretting doing this. I wish I'd have dropped down. I mean, don't get me wrong, the views are amazing, but there is no trail. And from where I left where I last split from the last trail, it's 15 mile, not 11. It's 11 exposed, but it's still 15 mile that I need to get. And I've got about 1.5. Like I said, you get a little bit of trail for maybe 50 yards, then it's just gone. And when you're outside of a mountain, you don't know whether you should be going up or down or carry on straight, so it's taking a long time. Yeah, so this divide trail ain't no trail unless it gets better further round. But I've just crossed into the Pecos Wilderness. There wasn't a sign or anything, but then there weren't a trail anyway. So I'm going to call this video here. My next video is going to carry on from here. I'll see if I can cheer myself up and get in a better mood. And that'll probably be the last one. And that'll be Pecos Wilderness, where I am now, to Santa Fe. Yep, so anyway, see you in the next one. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one, hopefully.